Looks like y'all are able to see that. So welcome everybody. Welcome Ricky. Peace and blessings all. Yes, welcome Ricky. Take your time, no worries. Thank you very much. Definitely appreciate your patience. So again, this all the information, all the knowledge that I'm going to give you in this presentation is from the book Combating Cult Mind Control by Stephen Hassan, and it's America's leading cult expert. This is the #1 best-selling guide to protection, rescue, and recovery from destructive cults. Okay, so this is the science behind why people get sucked into cults. Hello, Ron, Music for Life. A lot of us are very judgmental. We like to say that people who are involved in cults are dumb, are stupid, things like that. But that's not the case. Usually it's the opposite. It's usually intelligent people who are in cults, people with degrees, people with college education, and people with common sense. So this is a science behind how people are recruited, because that's what cult leaders do. They actually recruit people. They go to certain places where they know they're basically like predators. Okay. And so I'm going to get into the science of this, and we're going to start with behavior control. So this comes from the B.I.T.E model, which is the 4 components of mind control from the book Combating Cult Mind Control by Stephen Hassan. So all this information has been researched by Stephen Hassan. He is a mental health counselor with his PhD. All right. So I just want to make that clear. So the reason he did this book is because he actually survived a cult called the Moonies. And you can look him up. Go ahead and do your own research on Stephen Hassan. He does have a Wikipedia page too. And you can find out more about his survival story. But anyway, it was inspired by psychologist Leon Festinger and his cognitive dissonance theory. And we will get into what cognitive dissonance is. The 3 components of mind control are behavior of thoughts, and the 3 components are control of behavior, control of thoughts, and control of emotions. Okay, so that is what Leon Festinger, who was a psychologist, he created the theory of cognitive dissonance. He have studied the mind, and specifically when it comes to cults and mind control. So the 3 components of mind control, according to Leon Festinger, which Stephen Hassan pretty much bit off and made it into an actual model. The 3 components of mind control is control of behavior, control of thoughts, and control of emotions. So if one of those components change, okay, and excuse the typos. I thought I went through this and double check, but if you see some, grammatical errors, then yeah, I'm not perfect. So definitely apologize for that. But if you change one component of mind control, such as if you control the behavior of a person, you change their thoughts and you change their emotions. Okay, so it all is combined. If you change one component, you change the other 2. Okay, so all you need to do is change one of these. So you can control somebody's emotions, and with the control of emotions come the control of behavior. With the control of behavior comes the control of thoughts. So just keep in mind that those are all 3 linked. Okay, so that was his theory. Cognitive dissonance is when you control one of the 3 components of mind control, you control the other, or the other 2 will fall in line in your mind. This is how human brains work. Okay. Stephen Hassan, a mental health counselor, he specializes in destructive cults. He added information control to the mind control formula. So his model is behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. So the cognitive dissonance theory, which is from Leon Festinger, this is an example. Okay, so basically you're a hypocrite, right? So your mind basically adjusts to whatever you go through. So for instance, the example says, I'm not cheap and don't lie easily. I'm not cheap and don't lie easily. Okay. So what Leon did was make a group do a boring activity, and he told them to lie that it was entertaining and he'll pay them $20, right? So another thing he did this was with a set of people. He divided them into two groups. One group he paid $20, one group he paid $1. Okay. And so the thing was, he was basically testing their minds out to see if his theory worked. And it did. So if you say, I'm not a cheap person and I don't lie easily, okay, so once you do a boring task and you lied for $20, okay, right? So yeah, you're not cheap. $20 isn't too bad, but you did the boring task and you did lie. That's a low dissonance, meaning your mind is cool with that. Like it's not, it's consistent, but the boring task was not fun. Okay. But you were right. You didn't do it. You're not cheap and you didn't lie easily. So it took you $20 to lie. But the outcome was the boring task was not fun. You didn't enjoy it. So you rather be paid $20 to lie about this because you don't lie easily, right? Now, this is where it gets tricky. Your brain is inconsistent when you say, I'm not a cheap person and I don't lie easily, and you do a boring task and you lie for $1. So you just did something you said you would never do. You said you're not cheap and you said you don't lie, but you did a boring task. And when he tells you to tell the other contestants, oh, it was so fun what I did, you did it. You lied for $1. So then there's high cognitive dissonance, meaning your mind will switch things around to create, oh, the boring task was fun, but it wasn't. But that's what your mind would do because you just contradicted yourself. So that's similar to cults. Normally, people, before they join a cult, they say they'll never do this, they'll never do that, they'll never do this, but you never know until you're in that position. So the cognitive dissonance theory is pretty much your mind. We're going to go back to the three components of mind control: control of behavior, control of thoughts, and control of emotions. So your mind will twist this stuff around because you are inconsistent with your thoughts. So your mind will make it, oh, well, the activity wasn't boring. It was actually fun. You will make it feel better for you and your situation. And that's what we do. And so here is the definition of behavior control. Behavior control is the regulation of an individual's physical reality. It includes the control of their environment, where they live, what clothes they wear, what food they eat, how much sleep they get, and what jobs, rituals, and other actions they perform. And that is a direct quote out of the book, Combating Cult Mind Control. And please do your own research about Stephen Hassan. Do your own research about everything that I'm telling you. So most destructive cults have a fixed daily schedule that each cult member must abide by. This schedule is created by the cult leader so that your mind can stay focused on the group's rules, goals, rituals, and doctrines. If members are away from the group due to school or work, the cult leader will typically assign a job or homework for a member to accomplish. This means that cult members are still under mind control even when they are physically away from the group. And those are in my words. So I experienced that myself. The cult that I was in, called Israel United in Christ, or IUIC, they had a schedule for everybody. They had their own radio show. They had their own news. They had their own everything. So what they did was say, oh, well, don't listen to the white man. The white man is the devil. We have our own music. We have our own clothing. We have our own way of doing things that's opposite of what the world does. And because the white man controls the world, the white man's the devil. That's their main thing. The white man's the devil. They are a hate group. Do your own research with that as well. With the Southern Poverty Law Center, look it up. You will see the name Israel United in Christ. They are in several states and they are out of the country as well. So be careful if you run across this group on YouTube, across their videos, because they're not going to tell you this, which I know from being in the group for over 2 years. So this is what they're going to leave out. The rituals, how they act, how they really treat women, how they really treat people. That's what they don't tell you, right? So even when you're away from the group, they still want you to do something associated with the group, whether it's watch videos, study Bible scriptures. And then the next time you worship with them, they'll basically ask you questions about the homework they gave you. They'll ask you, oh, so what did you learn? Did you read this story in the Bible? Did you study the precepts? Did you do this? Did you do that? So your mind is always on the group. And that's how cult members behave. Whether the group leader taught them whatever philosophies the group leader taught them, they bought it. And now they're just like, oh my God, I got this new knowledge. But what does the Bible say? Nothing is new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. Okay, so it's a lie. There's no new knowledge out there. All that is man-made. My name in the group was Zara Aliyah Israel. Now, my behavior was controlled through the manipulation of the Bible. I was taught how to dress and how to wear my hair. I later realized that I was being manipulated and controlled to behave that way because the men in the group wanted women to act that way. It had nothing to do with the Bible. It had everything to do with being a male dominant group, putting women down, treating women like crap, treating their wives like crap, abusing their wives, abusing children. And this is all alleged, that part, because I don't have proof of them. But if you are a member of Tales from the Cult, you do have access to 2 videos where I did interview an ex-wife of Israel United in Christ, an ex-wife of a high-ranking person in IUIC who told us that she was abused mentally, physically, and spiritually by an officer, which is a ranking person in IUIC. And if you're interested in that, you can join my membership to watch those 2 interviews. They are over an hour long, and viewers' discretion is strongly advised because she does have audio that she shares as well. And the comments are turned off because that group viciously attacked me and her and put disgusting things in the comment section. And I will not allow anybody to victimize and shame survivors of abuse. Not on my watch. So if anybody leave any type of comment that's disrespectful to this, my situation, my story, and anyone else I interview, you will be blocked. So I just want to put that out there. So when I came to this group, not only did they make me believe that the Bible said to dress the way that I dress, to wrap my hair up, to not speak in church. What else? All type of stuff. You know, they took the Bible literal, and you don't take the Bible literal. Look, that's over 2,000 years old. The Bible is not meant to be taken literal. Okay, it's philosophy. It's a way to live. It's stories giving us examples of what we will go through, more than likely. It's not to be taken literal. We don't dress that way anymore. Women have rights now. So at that time, maybe women didn't have rights. Maybe a lot of the men treated women like that. And they want to continue this treatment of women in these groups, especially in Black Hebrew Israelite groups, so the men can feel better about themselves. And they talk about the white man so much, it will make you sick. They teach you how to be racist. They really do. And so they have all this, they have double language. It's basically called a double language, where the group members have their own lingo, their own language, We had our own language. We had our own nicknames for the white man and nicknames for other people that you would think was a foreign language because you don't know what it means. You don't know what Zara, Aliyah, Israel means, but I do. You might think that look weird, but to me, and especially when I was in the group, it was an honorable thing to do. Okay, so they tell you to get a Hebrew name. So I wasn't even being called by my name, Gina, not even my nickname, Charisma, which I developed after that, but I was being called by a completely new name. So if you think about that, I was in this group for over 2 years, being called a new name, acting like a new person. I was a completely different person. Your mind is all you got. When you're manipulated, you're under mind control, you are a different person. If we knew that we were being manipulated, we wouldn't have stayed. And by the grace of God, he opened my mind to see what was going on. Not everybody get that chance. And so I'm bringing this back to the forefront because my work is not done yet. I'm not finished. And I keep avoiding this because it hurts so much. And I hate the flashbacks. And I hate even talking about it because of how much it affected my life negatively. But I have to get through it. And God said my work isn't done. So I'm going to continue to speak about it until it reaches the people it needs to reach. Okay, that's me in the picture. I was very popular in the group, very involved, very invested. I was on the kitchen staff. I was on the sewing team. I was on the event staff. I cooked for them. I bought food for them and cooked it. I made unleavened bread. I bought wine for the entire congregation. Money came out of my pockets. So I believed in them. I believed in what they were teaching. I believed in the doctrine because I thought that it was the truth. But thinking and experiencing it is two different things. They are liars. They are demons. They treat people like crap, cut you off, and then tell all your business. And then make up stuff if they don't got nothing on you like they did me. And make a whole smear campaign. And watch, they'll start coming after me. Y'all see if a comment gets through. But they will be blocked. But that's what they do. They will come after you to silence you. They silence women. But then on the outside, they want to act like they so pro-black and so for our sisters. They treat us like shit. And I didn't learn that until I became a member of the group and congregated in person. See, don't listen to nobody who congregated online. Anybody can make up a show and make your house, whatever, look good. Talk to the survivors who were there in person, like me. I was right here in Vegas, in person. And I'm still here. So this is just the very beginning, behavior control. You might not understand the concepts right away. That's why you need to get the book, Combating Cult Mind Control. You can get it off of Amazon. Okay. And it's by Stephen Hassan. So you can understand the full breakdown, because just if this is your first time hearing about this, you're not going to get it right away. You're not going to get the cognitive dissonance theory. I don't know if I explained that. I explained it as best as I could. But you need the book to truly understand it. You really do. And let me see. I have the book right here. Give me 1 second. I hope y'all doing all right. Thank you so much for tuning in. For everybody who here, you're going to get some valuable information. And I hope you use it so you could spot a cult when you see one, because if it wasn't for us survivors telling you about it, no one would know. And they will keep playing people for their money, playing old women, playing women, especially women get played like dogs. trying to believe in our black men, huh? Well, guess what? All kinfolk, all skin folk and kinfolk, period. And that's what I thought, just foolishly believing in these men because they seem to be leaders. They seem to be educated on the Bible. They seem to speak well and eloquent and smooth and have charisma and all type of stuff. But what they doing behind closed doors is deplorable. So let me read this real quick. And this is from the book Combating Cult Mind Control, page 116. If you do have the book, I'm going to read the full little section on behavior control. And then we're going to go ahead and end this. I don't want this to be too long. Okay, so behavior control is the regulation of an individual's physical reality. It includes the control of their environment, where they live, what clothes they wear, what food they eat, how much sleep they get, and what jobs, rituals, and other actions they perform. This need for behavior control is the reason most cults prescribe a very rigid schedule for their members. Each day, a significant amount of time is devoted to cult rituals and indoctrination activities. Members are also typically assigned to accomplish specific goals and tasks, thus restricting their free time and their behavior. In destructive cults, there is always something to do. In some of the more restrictive groups, members have to ask permission from leaders to do almost anything. In other groups, a person is made so financially dependent that their choices of behavior are narrowed automatically. A member must ask for bus fare, clothing money, or permission to seek health care, things most of us take for granted. Often, the person must ask permission to call a friend or relative not in the group. Every hour of the cult member's day has to be accounted for. In these ways, the group can keep a tight rein on the member's behavior and on their thoughts and feelings as well. Behavior is often controlled by the requirement that everyone act as a group. In many cults, people eat together, work together, have group meetings, and sometimes sleep together in the same dormitory. Individualism is fiercely discouraged. People may be assigned a constant buddy or be placed in a small unit of half dozen members. The chain of command in cults is usually authoritarian, flowing from the leader through their lieutenants to their sub-leaders down to the rank and file. In such a well-regulated environment, all behaviors can be either rewarded or punished. If a person performs well, they will be given public praise from the higher-ups and sometimes gifts or a promotion. If a person performs poorly, they may be publicly singled out and criticized or forced to do manual labor such as cleaning toilets or polishing other members' shoes. Other forms of punishment may include prescribed fasting, cold showers, staying up for an all-night vigil, or doing remedial work. Those who actively participate in their own punishment will eventually come to believe they deserve it. Each particular group has its own distinctive set of ritual behaviors that help bind it together. These typically include mannerisms of speech, specific posture and facial expressions, as well as the more traditional ways of representing group belief. If a member is not behaving sufficiently enthusiastically, they may be confronted by a leader and accused of being selfish or impure or of not trying hard enough. They will be urged to become like an older group member, even to the extent of mimicking the person's tone of voice. Obedience to a leader's command is the most important lesson to learn. Cult leaders cannot command someone's inner thoughts, but they know that if they command behavior, hearts and minds will follow. So again, this is Combating Cult Mind Control, the #1 best-selling guide to protection, rescue, and recovery from destructive cults by Stephen Hassan, America's leading cult expert. So I definitely suggest you go buy this book on Amazon if you want to follow along as I break down the different sections. Do your own research via Google and everything like that. So this is the book. You will see, read the reviews, do all your research. That's all I would say. Do all of your research. This is the book I have right now and the book that I just read. Okay. So it's on Amazon. I will have the links on the in the description box below after this video. So I want to thank you guys so much for participating, for watching. If I didn't get to your comment, I do apologize. This video was not planned to be on this channel. So I understand if it wasn't too many people watching, but you are definitely one of a kind and this video was meant for you. If you are watching, I hope it resonated with you. I hope that gave you some insight to how deep being recruited in a cult really is. Your mind can be manipulated in ways you don't even know. It's people in high places with evil intentions. They got backgrounds in psychology. They got backgrounds with doing all type of satanic stuff behind the scenes. So they do know mind control. They know exactly what they're doing, and they do it with witchcraft and whatever else they can use. And they definitely use other people to influence you and your behavior. So stay tuned for the next video. It will be on the next section, which is information control, and that will discuss how cults control the information the members get so that your truth, your voice, your common sense can never reach them. Oftentimes people say, why they don't see that? They're controlled. They're under mind control. You have to understand that it's levels to this, especially the younger they are, the more impressionable they are. And especially if they're women. So you must understand that these people know what they're doing. Okay, so I will see you all on the next video as we continue to learn about the 4 components of mind control based on Stephen Hassan's B.I.T.E model. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Y'all take care. Peace.